this male officer endured a devastating sequence. He was washing his face roadside when an oncoming car struck him into muddy ground. After getting up, he confronted the driver only to have his arm trapped in the car window upon reaching inside. As the driver accelerated, the officer sprinted, lifted both legs, and suspended his entire body against the vehicle. The officer, Yoon Dong-ja, was formerly a boxer. Determined to claim gold with absolute strength, he insisted on competing in the Olympics despite his coach's order to pursue lucrative commercial matches. He won gold with unmatched skill, becoming a world-renowned champion. To retaliate, his coach framed him for doping, fabricating a positive drug test. Overnight, Yoon plunged from glory into infamy as public condemnation surged. His career collapsed. Though he spent 2 years in litigation to clear his name and won the lawsuit, public perception forever branded him a doping fraud. Later, Yoon was recruited into Seoul's riot police as a national athlete but was demoted to regular duty after injuring a colleague during a dispute over illicit protection fees. Meanwhile, the police launched Operation Rabbit Hunt. Officers disguised themselves to arrest leaders of the major crime syndicate, Golden Rabbit Gang. At the critical moment, the team leader abruptly left. When a fire erupted nearby, Gold Rabbit's henchmen exposed the police, shouting, "Escape!" As Gold Rabbit fled across a rooftop, he collided with the team leader exiting a restroom. The leader pulled up his pants to pursue but was kicked back into the toilet by Gold Rabbit. Yoon Dong-ju arrived and confronted Gold Rabbit, who seized a mirror as a weapon. Seeing his own reflection, Yoon faltered and was knocked down. The operation failed. After work, Yoon Dong-ju encountered Ji Han-na, an acquaintance from the police station, and asked about her recent situation. Ji Han-na pressed him about whether he still liked her, and Yoon Dong-ju openly admitted it. His smile never faded since seeing Ji Han-na. During their conversation, a car stopped beside them. Ji Han-na's ex-boyfriend, Kim Jong-hyun, got out to speak with her, but she ignored him. Later, Yoon Dong-ju and his team leader were investigated by Internal Affairs, with Kim Jong-hyun overseeing the case. Kim, a former fencing silver medalist like Yoon Dong-ju, had been specially recruited into the police force and now served as an auditor. On his first day, however, the precinct chief reprimanded him for causing 2 officers suspensions by snitching, mocking him for climbing the ranks over colleagues. Kim Jong-hyun calmly replied that he merely upheld principles and that the real disgrace lay with those accepting bribes. The chief warned him to back down or suffer consequences. Afterward, Kim Jong-hyun ran into Ji Han-na while organizing clothes. Though she had moved on from their past relationship, she expressed sympathy for his situation. Ji Han-na, an Olympic 50m rifle champion also specially recruited into the police, aspired to work in the field fighting crime but was consistently assigned paperwork. Even worse, the police chief ordered her to pose with guns like an actress for staged promotional photos to improve the force's image. Both Yoon Dong-ju and Ji Han-na remained stuck at the bottom of the hierarchy. Once, Yoon and his team leader were sent to ambush the Golden Rabbit Gang in the suburbs. Midway, the leader was summoned to perform wrestling for Superior's Amusementa, former bronze medalist now reduced to entertaining officials with his expertise. Yoon Dong-ju waited alone until midnight. Overcome by heat, he stepped out of his car to cool off and washed his face with water, only to be struck into mud by a passing vehicle as described earlier. When Yoon Dong-ju finally struggled to his feet, he witnessed young men with dyed hair driving off in his car and discovered a blood-covered man lying in the grass. The man was Officer Lee from the Customs Service, a victim of a hit-and-run who had been dumped there. While tracking the hit-and-run vehicle, Yoon Dong-ju discovered blurry surveillance footage indicating it was a smuggled car. He suddenly recalled seeing the same model in Golden Rabbit Gang investigation files. To obtain accurate information, he secretly took documents from the captain's desk. He then explained to the team leader, this vehicle and the one that hit him were the only smuggled cars of this model nationwide. Golden Rabbit's smuggling records lacked buyer information for this specific car, suggesting the buyer had close ties to Golden Rabbit. Tracking this car might lead to Golden Rabbit's capture. However, the team leader deemed acting on speculation too risky, warning both could face disciplinary action. Meanwhile, superiors ordered Ji Han-na to work overtime, organizing a deceased person's belongings for handover to the family. She realized these were hit-and-run victim, Officer Lee's possessions. Witnessing Officer Lee's mother and child weeping desperately at the hospital, She couldn't bear to add to their pain and temporarily took the belongings home. Earlier, Yoon Dong-ju received a tip that someone knew the hit-and-run perpetrator and arranged a meeting. Kim Jong-hyun provided crucial clues. Reviewing surveillance from the Golden Rabbit Operation Day, he confirmed the fire was arson. A phone call reported the fire 5 minutes before ignition, likely an insider warning Golden Rabbit about the police operation. Most critically, the whistleblower who reported Golden Rabbit smuggling was Officer Lee himself. The team leader grew uneasy upon hearing this. Kim Jong-hyun immediately contacted the investigation support team, demanding verification of Officer Lee's belongings and inquiring about the handling officer. Just as Ji Han-na arrived home, Kim Jong-hyun called, but she ignored it, assuming it was personal. Suddenly, her doorbell rang. A man claiming to be from the customs service demanded Officer Lee's belongings, actually sent to eliminate the witness. Ji Han-na retreated to a room holding the belongings and readied her rifle. Sensing her danger over the phone, Kim Jong-hyun sped to rescue her, but was forced to halt when a pursuing vehicle rammed his car. Thugs swarmed and attacked him. At that critical moment, a traffic officer witnessed the danger, snatched a tool, and repelled the attackers. Yoon Dong-ju faced an equally perilous situation. Upon arriving at the warehouse, he was locked inside, confronting Golden Rabbit, wrapping his hands in bandages and putting on a mouthguard. He stood ready as a boxer to fight alone. Simultaneously, Ji Han-na raised her rifle for precise shots and engaged in close combat to protect the belongings. Kim Jong-hyun broke a mop handle to use as a fencing weapon, luring the thugs onto a bridge to fight his way out. These specially recruited officers, once glorious but forgotten athletes, defended justice and principles with their bodies. They proved they never lost the fighting spirit from their athletic days and never abandoned their duty as police. The female officer longed to confront criminals at crime scenes, but the police chief ordered her to pose like an actress for promotional photos. Enraged, she aimed her gun at the chief and shot him down in front of everyone. Yoon Dong-ju single-handedly defeated the Golden Rabbit gang's underlings and captured their leader. The team leader, arriving for backup, ordered all arrested and taken to the station. After giving instructions, he checked on Yoon Dong-ju, who remained in post-combat stress, and punched him. Meanwhile, the traffic officer and Kim Jong-hyun received reinforcements. After handing over the scene, Kim Jong-hyun rushed to rescue Ji Han-na only to find her unharmed with defeated assailants lying in her home. All four overcame their adversaries, contributing greatly to the Golden Rabbit gang's capture. Journalists widely reported their heroism. After interviews, Yoon Dong-ju insisted on walking Ji Han-na home. When she refused, he reaffirmed his feeling 7 if she didn't reciprocate now. He believed she would eventually be moved. A female shop owner witnessing his persistence emerged with a knife and others to protect Ji Han-na. Seeing this, Yoon Dong-ju turned and left. The next day, due to their outstanding performance, the police chief immediately announced the formation of a temporary special investigation team. The team leader was appointed captain with the other 3 as members. After preparations, the team leader assigned tasks, investigating the Golden Rabbit gang and the hit and run that killed Officer Lee. Initially, the team leader invited Kim Jong-hyun to join, but he insisted on remaining in internal affairs while continuing to investigate the Golden Rabbit gang case. Yoon Dong-ju interrogated Golden Rabbit and recognized the watch on his wrist identical to the one worn by the hit-and-run driver. As Yoon Dong-ju pressed for details, officers abruptly took Golden Rabbit away. The investigation unit informed the team leader that the police chief ordered them to handle the Golden Rabbit gang's wrap-up, citing an important task for the special team. Upon meeting the chief, they discovered this task involved demonstrating new equipment. After the chief's demonstration, he instructed Ji Han-na to mimic his poses with graceful fluidity. The team leader complained this contradicted the team's original purpose. A colleague advised accepting reality. The chief only wanted publicity to boost the police image for his mayoral campaign. Ji Han-na, frustrated by bureaucratic obstacles to fighting crime, took the chief's gun and swiftly shot down all practice dummies. The chief corrected her incorrect demonstration by propping up a dummy. Following his instruction, she fired directly at its bulletproof vest. The chief collapsed. Doctors confirmed his fractured ribs, proving the vest's substandard quality. He ordered a special investigation into the vest manufacturer, while dismissing Ji Han-na. Kim Jong-hyun immediately advised punishing Ji Han-na now would only fuel public outrage, suggesting reputation recovery while reporters remained. The police chief followed his advice, holding a press conference to claim the incident was a pre-arranged drill testing the new bulletproof vest's functionality. However, disillusioned with the police station, Ji Han-na voluntarily submitted her resignation. Kim Jong-hyun found her at the shooting range, urging her not to abandon her dream of being an officer. Ji Han-na maintained she could protect herself as a civilian and declined his concern. Yoon Dong-ju also came to persuade Ji Han-na, waiting until dark for her return. She likewise rejected his pleas. Meanwhile, the investigation unit handled the Golden Rabbit Gang case with fanfare. With nothing to do, Yoon Dong-ju and others visited their bustling office. The team leader, seeing everyone occupied, answered a call without authorization. After hanging up, he immediately mobilized the team. An informant reported smuggling attempts abroad, including those who broke into Ji Han-na's home. The team leader decided to act before the investigation unit to prove their special team's capability. At the location, Kim Jong-hyun led the encirclement after reconnaissance. His screams alerted the smugglers, who scattered. Kim Jong-hyun leaped from the building to chase the two intruders from Ji Han-na's home. They picked up thin steel rebars to fight. When stabbed, Kim Jong-hyun hallucinated the rebars as fencing swords, sweating profusely and freezing in place. Seeing this, the assailants thrust toward him. At the critical moment, the team leader rushed to shield him. The attackers escaped, leaving the leader severely wounded. The three quickly called an ambulance to take the team leader to the hospital. But then a major accident ahead blocked the road. Doctors warned the team leader would be in mortal danger if his internal organs were bleeding. To save him, Yoon Dong-ju pushed the team leader in a supermarket cart for half an hour until they finally reached the hospital. After regaining consciousness, the team leader learned how desperately Yoon Dong-ju had worked to save him and was moved beyond words. Unaware of this situation, Ji Han-na went to deliver Officer Ji's belongings. Officer Lee's son, knowing she was a police officer, tearfully begged her to catch the killer and bring his father justice. Ji Han-na felt deeply conflicted. Returning home that night, the convenience store owner told her the long broken streetlights near her entrance were finally repaired, all thanks to Yoon Dong-ju's relentless complaints to the district office. Otherwise, repairs would have taken who knows how long. As Ji Han-na walked home, the newly lit lamps illuminated her path. She pictured Yoon Dong-ju persistently making complaint calls, warmth flooding her heart. Meanwhile, Yoon Dong-ju heard the hit-and-run driver who killed Officer Lee and injured him had turned himself in. He rushed to see the person's face. Unexpectedly, it was his close friend. It turned out the coach and his boss had forced the friend to take drugs, threatening him with harsher punishment over 10 years or life imprisonment for reoffending due to prior drug use. If he took the blame as the hit-and-run driver for the boss, he'd only get 3 years. Coerced, the friend agreed. Suspecting the coach was behind it all, Yoon Dong-ju stormed into the records room and violently beat him, demanding answers. The coach shamelessly insisted the friend was the hit-and-run driver, claiming getting him a lawyer was a huge favor. The team leader stopped the enraged Yoon Dong-ju, stressing they needed evidence to clear the friend. Using unauthorized force would get him suspended. Calmed down, Yoon Dong-ju attended Officer Lee's funeral to console the family. While comforting the young boy, he suddenly remembered seeing someone wearing the same watch as the hit-and-run driver when he entered. He immediately rushed out to find the person. Unfortunately, mourners had already dispersed, and he found no one suspicious. Learning all attendees were Officer Lee's colleagues, he borrowed the guest register to investigate at the customs service. After checking everyone, he found no leads. At that moment, staff ordered him to leave immediately for disrupting work. As he was being escorted out, he made a discovery, burst into a man's office. There, he saw the boss wearing the same watch as the hit-and-run driver. Yoon Dong-ju knew the man before him was the real culprit. Yoon Dong-ju firmly believes that Min Ju-young from the customs service is both the hit-and-run driver who killed Clerk Lee and the one who collided with him. However, Min Ju-young insists he has never seen him before. In desperation, Yoon Dong-ju lifts his shirt to reveal scars on his back, yet this act is perceived as provocative troublemaking. Security personnel promptly escort him out of the scene. After being removed, Yoon Dong-ju asks Shin Jae-hong to photograph the scars and send them to NFS for forensic examination. At this moment, Kim Jong-hyun walks in to check on his team leader's wounds sustained while shielding him from a knife attack. Seizing the opportunity, the team leader plays the emotional card and invites Kim Jong-hyun to join the special investigation team. Yoon Dong-ju urges the team leader to seek a search warrant for Min-ju, Young.1. Just then, television news broadcasts that the hit-and-run driver who killed Clerk Lee has been confirmed to be Yoon Dong-ju's close friend. To clear his friend's name, Yoon Dong-ju rushes to the scrapyard to investigate the crash vehicle. Regrettably, he finds nothing after combing the entire market. The team leader firmly trusts Yoon Dong-ju's judgment. However, as the special investigation team cannot openly intervene, he secretly asks Kim Jong-hyun for investigative assistance. Kim Jong-hyun has already applied to prosecutors to meet the friend for an internal probe. The newly appointed prosecutor is Kim Jong-hyun's older brother. He sternly questions whether the friend confesses to the crime. 1. Knowing he cannot contend with Min-ju Young, the friend admits all charges. Kim Jong-hyun visits his brother at the prosecutor's office. Despite their estranged relationship, he directly requests custody of the friend. Unexpectedly, his brother flatly refuses and mockingly advises him to resign from the audit role to help their father's business. After all, avoidance has always been his forte. At that moment, childhood humiliation from living perpetually in his brother's shadow surges through him like a tide. Yoon Dong-ju visits the prison and promises to rescue him. He instructs the friend to deny the murder charges. While returning to his cell, the friend asks a guard when he can meet his lawyer. He does not know this guard has already been bribed by Min-ju Young. After work, the guard immediately reported the friend's condition and Yoon Dong-ju's prison visit to Min-ju Young. Min-ju Young's eyes turned cold. He believed eliminating the friend was the only way to ensure absolute safety. The next day, while investigating the crash vehicle, Yoon Dong-ju suddenly received news of his friend's death. He rushed to the detention center to find his friend's body covered with a white cloth. Only the words, "I'm sorry," remained on the wall. The team leader handed Yoon Dong-ju the friend's belongings. Unexpectedly, Yoon Dong-ju discovered a gold watch inside. This watch was identical to those worn by the Golden Rabbit and the hit-and-run driver. Yoon Dong-ju instantly knew its owner was the true murderer. The team leader regretfully informed him that prosecutors had ruled out foul play and officially closed the case. Enraged, Yoon Dong-ju stormed into the customs service and violently beat Min-ju Young. Convinced he murdered the friend, Min-ju Young neither dodged nor resisted throughout. It seemed he had deliberately provoked Yoon Dong-ju from the start. Ultimately, Yoon Dong-ju received a 3-month salary reduction for provoking disorder. He was also punished by transcribing the entire Criminal Procedure Act. Furious, Yoon Dong-ju recalled his history with the friend. The friend was once a boxer. After being knocked down by Yoon Dong-ju in a match, he suffered severe nerve damage in his hand, losing all strength. Forced to abandon boxing, he eventually strayed onto a wrong path. Over the years, guilt-ridden Yoon Dong-ju often helped support the mother and son financially. Yet he ultimately failed to save his friend's life. Meanwhile, the team leader searched desperately for the witness guard's whereabouts. Neither realized the guard was currently being punished by Min-ju Young. While killing the friend, the guard had accidentally lost his watch to him. Now this watch became key evidence for finding the real culprit. Min-ju Young reprimanded the guard for incompetence. He ordered subordinates to eliminate the guard. A subordinate handed Min-ju Young Clerk Lee's belongings file. Min-ju Young noticed tampering with the file. The only suspect was Ji Han-na, who previously handled the belongings. Deeming Ji Han-na a threat, he burned the file. He then placed a watch on the coach's wrist, commanding the coach to become his right-hand man. Ji Han-na also noticed the gold watch among the friend's belongings. After returning home, she opened her father's keepsake box. Inside lay an identical gold watch. Her father, a police officer, had died during an unresolved case years ago. She took the watch to the team leader and asked if he had seen a similar one. The team leader introduced her to a watch expert. Ji Han-na then visited the pawn shop he recommended. The pawn shop owner informed her. This watch was crafted by a master Swiss watchmaker. The artisan produced only 12 identical pieces annually. Several had entered the local market years ago, all linked to the notorious smuggler, Derek. Ji Han-na urgently inquired about Derek's whereabouts. The owner regretfully stated, Derek had died 15 years prior. As Ji Han-na prepared to leave, she unexpectedly spotted a gold medal displayed in the shop window. She instantly recognized it as Yoon Dong-ju's boxing medal. Upon arriving home, a property agent suddenly visited. He explained her mother planned to sell their old house. Furious, Ji Han-na rushed to the police station. She found her mother selling insurance to colleagues. Ji Han-na demanded to know why she would sell their father's house. Her mother instead blamed Ji Han-na. Had she pursued commercial endorsements back then, her mother wouldn't be reduced to selling insurance. Years prior, Ji Han-na was a 2-time gold medalist. Unlike her athletic achievements, her mother obsessed over her earning money through ads. She even pressured her to endorse shampoo. When everyone expected her 3rd gold medal, her hair suddenly came undone mid-match. Her concentration shattered instantly. Ji Han-na delivered her worst performance and lost the gold. Already prone to heart palpitations, this defeat became her recurring nightmare. Merely recalling it made her dizzy. Now the familiar vertigo struck again. She fell backward uncontrollably. But no impact came. Yoon Dong-ju caught her firmly. In her daze, she remembered him catching her years ago too. Warmth flooded her heart. Silently, she thanked him for everything. Regaining composure, she returned the medal to Yoon Dong-ju. She hoped he would always maintain his passion. Yoon Dong-ju returned to the police station. He saw the team leader had copied most of the Criminal Procedure Act for him. Holding his breath, he completed the remaining portion. Meanwhile, Ji Han-na abandoned her idea of resigning from the police force. She decided to continue fighting alongside everyone. Kim Jong-hyun also officially joined the Special Investigation Team. Min Ju-young faced frequent police visits recently. His superior angrily scolded him for causing trouble. He demanded Min Ju-young offer a bribe. Min Ju-young lowered his eyes submissively in promise. He invited the superior to the most expensive restaurant. He also volunteered to attend a business trip on the superior's behalf. The superior pinched his cheek, praising his shrewdness. He remained oblivious that this man was the ruthless leader of a smuggling ring. To bring Min Ju-young to justice, the team leader assigned separate tasks. After a day's investigation, all 4 returned empty-handed. Elsewhere, the team leader dined with the pawn shop owner, discussing car smuggling. The owner revealed a notorious smuggler controlled the local market. The leader produced a watch and asked if the owner had seen it recently. The owner disclosed. Days ago, an ugly woman came asking about it. Ji Han-na labeled, "The ugly woman met with the team leader." He told her about a Russian gang member shot dead years ago. Her father had been the investigating officer for that case. Ji Han-na reviewed the accident scene report provided by the leader. It stated her father's cause of death was likely a gunshot to the head. The involved group was suspected to be a Russian gang. The case was closed as unsolved. Seeing the gruesome details of her father's death, Ji Han-na burst into tears. To trace the hit-and-run vehicle, the team leader took Yoon Dong-ju to find the car smuggler mentioned by the pawn shop owner. The smuggler fled immediately upon seeing them. Yoon Dong-ju and the leader split up to pursue him urgently. Cornered by the duo, the smuggler had nowhere to escape. Using the smuggler's precious but sparse hair as leverage, they threatened him to reveal the top figure in the car smuggling ring. The smuggler disclosed that Monkey currently held the top spot nationwide. Monkey had a backer at the customs office, shipped goods from Libya and Russia, and never had his cargo inspected. That backer was Soval. The vehicle they sought was a limited edition domestically and internationally. A minor modification could triple its value. To lure the target, they decided to find a car favored by smugglers as bait. The leader forced the smuggler to assist the mission. The smuggler judged neither the leader's car nor Kim Jong-hyun's met the standard to attract Monkey's underlings. Just then, Ji Han-na spotted the superintendent's newly purchased car. To capture Monkey, the leader boldly stole the superintendent's car keys. The smuggler drove the car to the parking lot. Yoon Dong-ju and 3 others set up an ambush. As night fell, a car thief indeed targeted the superintendent's vehicle. Yoon Dong-ju took out his phone to film the theft but accidentally hit the horn. Hearing the sound, the thief investigated. Fearing exposure, Ji Han-na urgently threw herself onto Yoon Dong-ju, bracing one hand against the car window. Mistaking them for an intimate couple, the thief dropped his guard and stole the car. Yoon Dong-ju endured sweet agony from the close contact with Ji Han-na. With their faces inches apart, he leaned in, eager to kiss her. But Ji Han-na pulled away just in time, notifying Kim Jong-hyun that the car had been taken. All 5 regrouped at the smuggler's warehouse entrance. Ji Han-na and Shin Jae-hong guarded the back door, While the leader led Yoon Dong-ju and Kim Jong-hyun in a frontal assault, the three put on their gear. Before they could apprehend anyone, the investigation squad captain unexpectedly arrived with his team. He had inadvertently discovered the team leader's whereabouts. Seeking credit, he raced to seize the smuggling ring's headquarters first. At the team leader's command, both sides immediately clashed with the criminals. Chaos engulfed the scene. Yoon Dong-ju scanned the fray for Monkey. He soon spotted Monkey attempting to flee. Ji-han-na, guarding the entrance, raised her rifle and aimed. But the cunning Monkey evaded pursuit using a hanging rope. He leapt onto the superintendent's car and sped off. Seeing this, Ji-han-na rammed another vehicle into Monkey's car. Monkey abandoned the wrecked car and ran. Kim Jong-hyun chased him relentlessly. Yet upon reaching the street, he found Monkey dead on the ground. He lunged at the black-clad killer but was overpowered. The assailant fled in a waiting car. After the mission failed, the superintendent viciously beat the team leader upon seeing his destroyed car. Moments later, he proudly displayed the license plate in an interview, claiming he voluntarily sacrificed his car to catch smugglers. Min Ju-young seethed with hatred watching the news. Kim Jong-hyun uncovered links between the smugglers, Russian gangs, and Philippine drug syndicates. This was no mere smuggling, it was multi-tiered crime. Despite searching all warehouses, Min Ju-young's car remained missing. Though evidence was elusive, no ships had departed for days. The car must still be domestically hidden. Moreover, most cars Monkey exported were unregistered. Stolen vehicles couldn't obtain legal documents. Only forged export permits were possible. This required inside help to accomplish. Ji-han-na informed the team that Clerk Lee had handled customs office declarations. The team leader deduced Clerk Lee discovered Min Ju-young's corruption and was murdered for it. Cornered, Min Ju-young panicked. He no longer presented himself as a weak civil servant. He grabbed and twisted the superior's hand, threatening to advance his business trip date. He demanded public announcement that the trip was under the superior's orders. Terrified, the superior could only nod in agreement. Learning that Min Ju-young intended to flee under the guise of a business trip, the team leader and others immediately rushed to the port. They searched for cargo bound for Libya and Russia. Midway through the search, they learned Min Ju-young had advanced his departure date. Yoon Dong-ju and Kim Jong-hyun promptly went to intercept him. Min Ju-young sensed he was being followed. To shake them off, he turned and drove into a residential area. Yoon Dong-ju stood on a rooftop scanning for Min Ju-young's car. Once he locked onto the target, he pursued immediately. The two coordinated a pincer maneuver, cutting through shortcuts, the other driving. Yoon Dong-ju leaped between rooftops, continuously reporting Min Ju-young's route. Guided by his updates, Kim Jong-hyun successfully caught up to Min Ju-young's car. However, the cunning Min Ju-young navigated narrow alleyways. Kim Jong-hyun's larger vehicle got stuck between two walls. Yoon Dong-ju, now on another rooftop, located Min Ju-young again. Seeing Min Ju-young's car charging toward Ji-han-na, he risked his life by jumping down. The sudden impact forced Min Ju-young to slam on the brakes. Yoon Dong-ju tumbled to the ground. He barely managed to stand after Ji-han-na's urgent cries. He strode up to Min Ju-young and declared loudly, "Under the Traffic Accident Handling Act, Min Ju-young had exceeded the speed limit in a school zone, causing injury, a clear violation of the law. Escaping by plane was now impossible." Yoon Dong-ju collapsed to the ground, laughing. He had finally caught Min Ju-young. Min Ju-young was taken back to the police station by the special investigation team. No matter how they questioned him, he insisted he was just an ordinary civil servant. He claimed no connection whatsoever to the case the police were investigating. Kim Jong-hyun presented various pieces of evidence that seemed to link Min Ju-young to the case. However, he flatly denied it. Instead, he kept glancing repeatedly at the clock on the wall and the gold watch on his own wrist. Just at that moment, Kim Jong-hyun's prosecutor brother arrived with personnel to take Min Ju-young away. The prosecution officials informed the team leader that the customs service had transferred the case to the prosecution. Seeing Min Ju-young being led out of the police station by the prosecution, Ji-han-na chased after him and asked him where his watch came from. Because in every case related to Min Ju-young, everyone involved wore the same model of watch. This seemed highly unusual. Min Ju-young recognized Ji Han-na as the police officer who had handled the belongings of the late Mr. Lee. He took off his watch and offered it for Ji Han-na to inspect. Seeing that Ji Han-na didn't take it, he slowly advanced towards her. At the critical moment, Kim Jong-hyun stepped between Ji Han-na and Min Ju-young, stopping his presumptuous behavior. An angry Yoon Dong-ju ran over, intending to use force to stop the prosecution from taking Min Ju-young away. Amid everyone's attempts to dissuade him, blood suddenly flowed from his nose and mouth. Yoon Dong-ju was rushed to the hospital. The doctor diagnosed him with a minor concussion requiring rest. The team leader instructed Ji Han-na to look after Yoon Dong-ju. As things stood now, everyone was curious about exactly who Min Ju-young was, and who was protecting him behind the scenes. An embarrassed Ji Han-na fled the room. She happened to run into Kim Jong-hyun, who had come looking for her. Kim Jong-hyun suspected Min Ju-young's people were monitoring Ji Han-na. The reason was that Ji Han-na had seen the late Mr. Lee's data. Kim Jong-hyun worried she might be in danger. He urged her not to interfere in matters related to Min Ju-young anymore. Ji Han-na, however, felt being monitored was better. It could serve as bait to lure Min Ju-young and his associates into revealing themselves. Meanwhile, the chief suddenly received a call from the mayor. Soon after, Kim Jong-hyun's brother was ordered to release Min Ju-young. The special investigation team learned the news of Min Ju-young's release. The prosecution's stated reason was that Min Ju-young was suspected of smuggling, but the crimes were minor. The Customs Service also only imposed a reassignment penalty on him. Min Ju-young drove a high-end sports car swerving wildly on the road. After parking, he called the person and instructed, asking his Russian friend to make arrangements for the clients. After hanging up, he casually discarded the phone. Yoon Dong-ju, still in the hospital, saw news about the red sports car. He recognized that red sports car as one of the missing smuggled vehicles. Back at the police station, Ji Han-na explained to everyone that she had seen a blue circle on the late Mr. Lee's documents. That was the logo of Cheongil Shipping Company. Min Ju-young had been focusing on this company throughout his tenure. Just as she finished speaking, members of the narcotics squad entered. They requested cooperation with the special investigation team. The narcotics squad produced a candy, stating it was a new type of drug. It was originally only circulating in Eastern Europe. They suspected it had now flowed into South Korea. While tracking smugglers linked to Min Ju-young's subordinates, they absolutely could not imagine the real manufacturer was a woman. Before meeting Min Ju-young, the manufacturer first went to a counterfeit drug production hideout. She questioned the experimenter, who had allowed them to forge her drug without authorization. Then she swiftly killed him. After doing this, the manufacturer took off her blood-stained clothes. She frantically splashed gasoline onto the floor and the corpse. She then called the police station to report discovering a drug hideout. As it turned out, when she told Min Ju-young she would eliminate the counterfeit drug operations, she also promised to help Min Ju-young eliminate the troublesome police. This was why she deliberately reported it, hoping to lure the special investigation team there to burn several members to death. She placed the phone inside a microwave. She figured when police entered the room, the phone would explode and ignite the gasoline. She decisively withdrew, but a man rushing in kicked her down. Seeing the man wearing a gold chain approaching step by step with a knife, just then, she saw Yoon Dong-ju running in. So she pretended to be a victim and screamed for help. Exactly at that moment, the phone in the microwave exploded. It ignited the gasoline on the floor. Yoon Dong-ju pulled the manufacturer and jumped out the window. Fortunately, the already safe team leader and others rescued both of them in time. Everyone inspected the burned-out room. They confirmed this was a drug production hideout. The pile of women's clothing accumulated in the room suggested women had been kidnapped here. It was highly likely they were also involved in human trafficking. The woman rescued by Yoon Dong-ju was naturally considered the sole survivor. Taken to the police station, the manufacturer lied, claiming she remembered nothing. To mislead everyone, she tearfully recounted seeing a man about 190 centimeters tall at the scene and hearing loud fighting sounds. The team leader believed she was the only one who had seen the manufacturer. He ordered Kim Jong-hyun to protect her personally to ensure her safety. But she grabbed Yoon Dong-ju's clothes and asked specifically for Yoon Dong-ju to protect her. Seeing this, Ji Han-na volunteered herself, reasoning that as fellow women, It would be more convenient for the two of them together. Yoon Dong-ju requested to be assigned to the mission with Ji Han-na. He seized the chance to increase opportunities to be with Ji Han-na. The three stayed in one room together. Yoon Dong-ju attended to Ji Han-na everywhere. Seeing them being affectionate in front of her, the manufacturer became displeased. Ignoring Ji Han-na's reaction, she proactively served food to Yoon Dong-ju. She deliberately showed her affection for Yoon Dong-ju. The whole team was called to listen to the commissioner's briefing. Under the scorching sun, listening to boring content, everyone complained incessantly. Yoon Dong-ju turned and used his injured hand to shield Ji Han-na from the sun. Ji Han-na looked at Yoon Dong-ju in front of her. She recalled their previous intimate encounters. She knew her heart had long been lost to him. After the meeting, Yoon Dong-ju bought various drinks for her to choose from. She no longer concealed her feelings. She grabbed Yoon Dong-ju's tie and kissed him directly. Ji Han-na's proactive kiss made Yoon Dong-ju overjoyed. After that, he always gazed at Ji Han-na frankly and intensely. He tried every method to get close. Team members investigated the call records from Min Ju-young's confiscated phone. They found it only contained work-related calls. Ji Han-na analyzed that Min Ju-young clearly knew the police were investigating him. Obviously, someone had tipped him off. Yoon Dong-ju recalled the day they arrested Min Ju-young. He was supposed to go to the airport under the pretext of a business trip. He must have received notification that the police had found the hit-and-run car. That's why he fled by car. The team searched along Min Ju-young's escape route. Indeed, they found a phone snapped in half inside a sewer. Everyone took it for testing. They found Min Ju-young's fingerprints on it. If the data and call records could be recovered, they could find out who tipped him off. The team leader praised Yoon Dong-ju. The manufacturer was bored. She decided to use the police force to eliminate the counterfeit drug base. She recalled that the man she killed had said before dying, the base was in Bukong district. So she reported to the police, claiming she remembered the manufacturer was in Bukong district and was a man with medium-length hair. Ji Han-na found it strange that the manufacturer couldn't even remember her own name, so she couldn't possibly recall such crucial information. The team lay in ambush in the car all night. Only at dawn did they see the man with medium-length hair appear. After receiving a call, he immediately escaped by boat. Yoon Dong-ju and Kim Jong-hyun both leaped simultaneously. Kim Jong-hyun landed on the deck, but Yoon Dong-ju fell into the water. A team member threw a life ring, but it hit Yoon Dong-ju squarely on the head. Yoon Dong-ju was furious. He then saw Kim Jong-hyun return stylishly escorting the medium-haired man amidst everyone's cheers. After coming ashore, they interrogated the medium-haired man. He claimed not to know the manufacturer, or Min Ju-young. Judging by his demeanor, he didn't seem to be lying. Kim Jong-hyun and Ji Han-na went to search the drug production hideout. They observed that the drugs produced here differed from the manufacturer's Note 18 Mine Os. Moreover, this group claimed never to have heard of the manufacturer or Min Ju-young. Coincidentally, the team leader discovered a large shipment of imported goods from Tail Company here. This included Russian frozen cod and materials needed for drug production. Back at the police station, other officers arrested several girls found at a motel. One was the team leader's daughter, who protested her innocence. The officers didn't believe her. When she tried to flee, she bumped into Yoon Dong-ju first, then collided with Kim Jong-hyun. After Kim Jong-hyun caught her, she was attracted by his charisma and refused to let go. The team leader arrived and saw his daughter, who was supposed to be abroad. After reprimanding her, he ordered her confined to the manufacturer's residence, which was guarded 24 hours. Meanwhile, Ji Han-na and Kim Jong-hyun investigated Tail Import Company. They discovered its logistics provider was Coco's company. The team leader finally pieced together the connection chain. Tail Company hid smuggled drug ingredients inside frozen Russian cod. Coco's logistics company handled the transfer to the medium-haired man. Min Ju-young was their protector. Yoon Dong-ju suggested immediately arresting Min Ju-young and others. Kim Jong-hyun said it wasn't that simple. Tail Company's CEO was the mayor's son. This meant Min Ju-young had the mayor backing him. Worse still, the commissioner and the mayor had unspecified collusion. If the commissioner learned they investigated Tail Company, they would be in trouble. As soon as he finished speaking, the commissioner arrived and demanded to know who was investigating Tail Company. The team leader had no choice but to admit it was him. The commissioner kicked his knee, forced him to kneel, and harshly reprimanded him. At this moment, Mayor's associates who learned of Tail Company's investigation confronted Min Ju-young. They blamed him for incompetence. Min Ju-young promised to personally apologize to the mayor. Unexpectedly, upon arriving at City Hall, he directly beat the mayor down. He tore the mayor's mouth with both hands. He warned the mayor not to forget it was he who put the mayor in that position. The mayor howled in pain, knelt begging for mercy, swearing never to defy again. Upon leaving, Min Ju-young inquired Coach O about Yoon Dong-ju's situation. Finding Yoon Dong-ju an eyesore, he vowed to make Yoon Dong-ju taste his wrath. To console the team leader who endured humiliation under the commissioner's scolding, the group treated him to barbecue. While leaving, the team leader went to relieve himself in an alley where he was attacked by men in black. When the team leader didn't return, the others went searching. They found him lying on the ground. After regaining consciousness, he ordered them to notify the police station first. His gun had been stolen by the men in black. Min Ju-young, now armed with the gun, fired 4 shots consecutively at the opposite building. Soon, news reported. Unidentified gunfire shattered residential building windows, causing public panic. The team leader confirmed it was his gun. Meanwhile, Ji Han-na received a call from NFS, National Forensic Service. They had retrieved the manufacturer's clothing from the counterfeit hideout. Victims' bloodstains were detected on the clothes. Victims' skin cells were also found on the collar, indicating the victim had grabbed the manufacturer's collar before death. Ji Han-na instantly suspected the manufacturer was a disguised victim with a complex identity. At this time, the manufacturer and the team leader's daughter were watching television. News broadcasted police cracking a drug case linked to Tail Company. The manufacturer muttered to herself, finally took down the counterfeit operation, only to get entangled with Tail Company. She stood up pondering solutions. The team leader's daughter suddenly recalled seeing the manufacturer on her return flight. Fearing exposure, the manufacturer considered leaving immediately. Soon after, Yoon Dong-ju and others received news of a fire in the manufacturer's room. Arriving at the scene, they found the room in disarray. They discovered the team leader's daughter's phone and bracelet. The manufacturer had used the same method as last time, placing the phone in a microwave to cause an explosion. The manufacturer who had fled unscathed was picked up by Min Ju-young. She revealed the girl was the team leader's daughter. Min Ju-young lamented only having 1 bullet left, and this bullet had other purposes for him. Unaware, the team split up to search for the team leader's daughter. Fortunately, Kim Jong-hyun found her roadside. Seeing his daughter unharmed, the team leader wept with relief. Just then, a courier handed a box to Yoon Dong-ju. Yoon Dong-ju asked about the sender. The courier stated he only handled delivery. Fearing a trap, the team leader cautiously opened the box. To their surprise, it contained his gun. But the last remaining bullet inside had disappeared. At that very moment, Yoon Dong-ju suddenly received a call from Kyung-il's mom. Yet no one spoke on the other end. He rushed to his friend's house, only to find someone like family to him, his friend's mother, lying in a pool of blood. Driven by grief and rage, he was emotionally provoked. He went to the warehouse where Min Ju-young was and punched Min Ju-young to the ground. His only thought was to avenge his friend's mother. After emergency treatment, his friend's mother survived. No surveillance cameras were installed in her home. The detailed sequence of events could not be clarified at all. Clear gunshot wounds were visible on his friend's mother's body. However, upon careful inspection of the chief's service weapon, no fingerprints were left on it. They needed definitive evidence of Min Ju-young's crime to arrest him. Ji Han-na spotted a discrepancy. The bullet had penetrated the scapular artery of his friend's mother. This would cause massive bleeding. Normally, she should not have survived due to blood loss. Kim Jong-hyun recalled. When the doctor arrived, his friend's mother had already received first aid, but no one knew who had helped her. Meanwhile, although Min Ju-young was severely injured by Yoon Dong-ju, he had planned it in advance. He ordered someone to secretly film Yoon Dong-ju hitting him. He used the video to threaten the police into firing Yoon Dong-ju and disbanding the special investigation team. To save the team, the chief humiliated himself. At a high-level gathering, he even acted as a human target. He entertained the chief superintendent and others by wrestling to please the superiors. Seeing the chief's sacrifice, Yoon Dong-ju was filled with guilt. The chief understood Yoon Dong-ju's feelings and did not blame him. Just then, the investigation team brought restored data from Min-ju Young's burner phone and information on its maker. The information showed the maker's passport was forged. Also, the maker had multiple fake identities. On Min-ju Young's burner phone, there were numerous call records with the maker. It was clear the two were in close contact. Besides the maker, Min-ju Young had contacted several others with this phone. By finding the burner phone vendor, they could identify who Min-ju Young had contacted. The group acted quickly without delay. At the same time, the maker disguised as medical staff appeared in Min-ju Young's hospital room. Min-ju Young demanded to know why his friend's mother survived, but he did not know. The maker had used his friend's mother's phone to call Yoon Dong-ju, then untied a scarf to bandage the wound, saving her life. Yoon Dong-ju and the others had no idea the maker had saved her. After a busy day, they returned empty-handed. None could locate the phone vendor. Just then, Yoon Dong-ju received a call. Learning Min-ju Young was at his friend's mother's hospital room door, he rushed out. Ji Han-na followed closely, concerned. Min-ju Young met Yoon Dong-ju. He asked him to relay a message to his friend's mother. Never say he was the one who fired the gun. Otherwise, the consequence would surely be death. After Min-ju Young left, Ji Han-na chased after him. She smashed the fruit basket squarely onto his face. She retorted that there were no surveillance cameras here, so he couldn't touch her. Yoon Dong-ju gazed at Ji Han-na with admiration and seized the moment to confess. He simply couldn't help liking such an impressive Ji Han-na. As they prepared to leave, a doctor stopped Yoon Dong-ju. He requested Yoon Dong-ju undergo an examination, not for his injured right hand, but for his abnormal brain. On their way back, Ji Han-na asked about the results. Yoon Dong-ju lied, claiming nothing was wrong. The next day, the team went to apprehend the phone vendor again. Under their interrogation, the vendor revealed that ethnic Koreans bought large quantities of phones weekly. Yoon Dong-ju demanded an immediate retrieval of the ethnic Korean manager's appearance. From the manager, they learned the identities of those using the burner phones. The man in the patterned shirt had formed a gang. He had also seized control of Gold Rabbit's territory. The Russian man with earrings handled shipping and delivery. Details about him remained unknown. The one controlling drug supplies in South Korea, Japan, and Southeast Asia was the maker they had already met. The last person was Coach O from the security company. These four were ruthlessly decisive in their respective fields and utterly merciless. The one connecting them, for mutual profit, was Min-ju Young. The chief worried this criminal network's interests were deeply entrenched, perhaps even involving the chief superintendent. Bringing them to justice seemed nearly impossible. Just then, the chief superintendent entered. He announced the special investigation team would soon be disbanded. The chief then informed the team members they would face disciplinary actions and be reassigned to their original units. Yoon Dong-ju was the first to face punishment. Yoon Dong-ju recalled Min-ju Young's words. Rules, laws, and fair play only mattered in Yoon Dong-ju's boxing ring. They meant nothing here. Yoon Dong-ju stood up and took an oath, just like in the boxing ring. After finishing the oath, he ignored everyone's pleas and left the police station directly. 2 days passed with no contact from Yoon Dong-ju. They discovered he had gone to find Coach O. They feared Yoon Dong-ju would cause trouble again. However, something unexpected happened. The situation took a sudden turn. The chief received news that the special team would not be disbanded for now. Team members would also avoid disciplinary actions. All this was Yoon Dong-ju's doing because he had privately sought out Min-ju Young. To save the special investigation team, Yoon Dong-ju confronted Min-ju Young alone. He told Min-ju Young he wouldn't fight back no matter how Min-ju Young vented his anger. As long as Min-ju Young stopped targeting the team, Min-ju Young ordered Coach O to attack while he watched as a spectator. He gazed with relish as the former boxing mentor and student engaged in a fierce showdown. Yoon Dong-ju was knocked down repeatedly but kept rising, enduring Coach O's one-sided beating. His persistence ultimately saved the team. The next day, Ji Han-na spotted Yoon Dong-ju waiting for her at her doorstep. Yoon Dong-ju explained. He had no connections or background. His only strength was enduring beatings. The only way he could think of to protect everyone. Ji Han-na praised him for doing well. Then she pressed him. After saving the team, did he plan to give up on himself? Yoon Dong-ju didn't answer but stepped forward and kissed Ji Han-na. His actions declared he wouldn't abandon the person he loved, or his belief in bringing criminals to justice. Their kiss sealed their romantic relationship. Learning Yoon Dong-ju had no place to stay, Ji Han-na invited him to live with her. Waking up beside Ji Han-na filled Yoon Dong-ju with joy. While packing at his boxing gym to move in with Ji Han-na, Yoon Dong-ju discovered his poetry book was missing from his bag. He assumed it was misplaced. Unaware it had fallen into the maker's hands. The maker admired the book, praising Yoon Dong-ju's taste. Every poem stirred her emotions deeply. Meanwhile, Yoon Dong-ju and the team tracked Min-ju Young's drug routes. During their discussion, the investigation team brought a forensic report. Bloodstains from the port warehouse contained traces of the smuggler they had pursued earlier. Kim Jong-hyun reported. Large quantities of ephedrine were entering Korea through the port, not yet cleared customs, meaning it remained in the port area. As Yoon Dong-ju planned how to seize the shipment, he noticed the chief constantly scratching his back. Yoon Dong-ju lifted the chief's clothes and saw red rashes. The chief recalled being bitten by ants during their last port seizure. The team checked records. Their seized port container last year contained invasive red imported fire ants, known as killer ants for their venom, brought in via the Russian route, the same route as the current drugs. They decided to use the fire ants to catch Min-ju Young off guard. Soon, the Port Authority urgently dispatched an inspection team. They implemented import and export controls under the pretext of checking for red imported fire ant invasion. A customs service colleague apologized to Min-ju Young, explaining that strict quarantine measures now made further favors impossible. Min-ju Young ruthlessly threatened the colleague using his daughter and ignored his pleas, snapping off his finger. The chief planned to press their advantage. He ordered the team to pose as quarantine officers to search for ephedrine. While patrolling the port, the trio spotted a suspicious person. After subduing them together, they realized it was the maker. Kim Jong-hyun handcuffed her, announcing her arrest for violating regulations. Unexpectedly, during transport, the maker suddenly collapsed, convulsing all over. Thinking she was acting, Yoon Dong-ju moved closer to check only to be kissed unexpectedly by her. At that moment, the maker's accomplices rushed from the shadows. The maker and others escaped. But Yoon Dong-ju then recalled the ephedrine's location, seeing her standing near a vehicle. Following Yoon Dong-ju's hint, they finally found the ephedrine hidden inside dolls. The group triumphantly escorted the ephedrine back to the police station. Their long-suppressed frustration gave way to soaring spirits. While the special investigation team celebrated, Min-ju Young and his associates were in disarray. Once the evidence entered the warehouse tomorrow, recovery would be impossible. Min-ju Young vowed to retrieve the evidence, having obtained the transport route and schedule. As he finished speaking, pounding sounds suddenly came from the car trunk. Inside was the kidnapped smuggler. Earlier, the Russian earring man intended to kill him, but stopped when his mother called. The smuggler seized the chance, jumping out. The next day, the chief ordered the team to escort the shipment to the evidence warehouse. The riot squad would handle traffic control. Ji Han-na and Kim Jong-hyun departed immediately. After receiving a call, the chief took Yoon Dong-ju to the hospital to find the smuggler. Under their interrogation, the smuggler revealed Min-ju Young already knew the transport route and timing. The chief suspected a mole in the police station. Unaware the smuggler's confession was orchestrated by Min-ju Young. Recaptured after escaping, he'd relayed false information to survive. The unsuspecting chief received a call from his team. They reported protest demonstrations at City Hall. The mayor personally ordered riot squad suppression, leaving only minimal support for Ji Han-na and Kim Jong-hyun. The chief notified Kim Jong-hyun. There was a mole in the police. They must change routes after exiting the tunnel. While Ji Han-na and Kim Jong-hyun escorted the shipment through the tunnel, two vehicles violently rammed them. Thugs wielding clubs instantly surrounded Kim Jong-hyun. Ji Han-na faced attacks from motorcycle gang members. Arriving at the tunnel entrance, the chief and Yoon Dong-ju saw it barricaded. Yoon Dong-ju grabbed the chief's belt and charged into battle. When other officers arrived with riot squad backup, their vehicle was also smashed. Inside the tunnel, Kim Jong-hyun and Ji Han-na fought alone. Yoon Dong-ju subdued his opponents and handed the battle to the chief. He sprinted toward the tunnel to rescue Ji Han-na and Kim Jong-hyun. Suddenly, a speeding motorcycle gang encircled him. Yoon Dong-ju fought them barehanded. Even when knocked unconscious, he struggled to seize a helmet. Through sheer willpower, he defeated every thug. Then he put on the helmet, mounted a motorcycle, and roared deep into the tunnel's darkness, racing to save his beloved and his comrade.